now we're going to discuss something very important to your being a better player, and that is being able to hit it generally on the center of the face as much as possible. You're not a machine. You're a wonderfully coordinated, eye-hand coordinated animal, so let's make use of that. Again, this isn't about perfection. It's about skill development. And this stuff on the face right here, this is called face tape, and it's pressure sensitive, and if you hit it with something, it makes a blue mark. And if you hit a ball with the face tape on the club face, it makes a very clear blue golf ball imprint as the ball flattens on the club. And what this is about is it's a way of having some feedback for yourself that allows you to know, am I hitting it chronically on the heel? Am I hitting it chronically on the toe? Am I hitting it chronically up high on the face or chronically down low? And in general, we see at the school people who chronically hit it one place or the other. That's what the face tape does for us. It gives us a chance to look at the club face and know where on the club face did I hit this. And it's amazing how good people are at hitting the same spot on the club over and over. They just have to be moved to a part of the club that works better. Now that brings us to why you want to hit it dead center in the club face, and it has to do with the center of gravity of the head being right behind the part of the club you want to use. If I hit the ball toward the toe of the club, because the center of gravity is in the center, the club face will kick back this way to the right. Now it does a very interesting thing when it does that. It's called the gear effect. And the gear effect is called that because the club head becomes as though it's a large gear rotating to the right, and anything that would be touching the gear, another gear that would be meshed with it, when the club face rotates clockwise, the other object that's in contact with it would rotate counterclockwise. And in that case, it's the golf ball that's touching the toe of the club. For that instant that it's in contact, the club rotates clockwise, the ball rotates counterclockwise. You get a hooking component added to the ball. If you hit the ball on the heel of the club, you get a gear effect in the other direction, which creates a slice. So if you chronically slice the ball and you put the tape on your club and you hit it back here on the heel of the club all the time, you're just making it worse. So get the ball out toward the center of the club face. The other interesting thing is, just for your information, is that the vertical gear effect works as well. There's a gear effect that works up here at the top. If I hit the ball up on top and the center of gravity is down low, I hit the ball up here, it kicks the club back and puts a bit of a topspin component on the ball, which reduces the backspin rate sometimes as much as 1,000 RPM. And so there are golf clubs now, today the new design of golf clubs are designed so that if you hit the ball above the center of gravity on this deep face driver, it will launch off of a slightly higher loft angle and it will have a reduced spin rate. And if that's the right combination for you, you can find that you'll hit the ball much farther using a club that will do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hit a shot. I'm going to try to hit it on the heel of the club to show you that you can hit it on any part of the club you tried it. Remember, it's your job to control the club head. It doesn't mean you'll always do it perfectly, but it's your responsibility. It is not your golf swing's responsibility. You cannot delegate that responsibility to your golf swing and try to filter what we're talking about here through some golf swing language and try to interpret it. Well, what does he mean in terms of my golf swing? I don't mean anything in terms of your golf swing. Nothing. What I'm saying is that you have to take your hand-eye coordination just as you do with a hammer when you pound a nail, and you have to take responsibility for applying the hammer head to the nail head, and you can't say to someone else, come and check out to see what's wrong with my nail driving swing. I seem to be bending too many nails today. It doesn't work that way. Your job is to take the end of the hammer and apply it using your eye-hand coordination to the nail. So make sure you understand that it's your responsibility to take this club and apply whatever part of it you like to the shot. Eventually, as you practice hitting it on different parts of the club on purpose, you will be able, obviously then, to hit it with the center or a little above center on the driver, as you'll need to do, but in the center of the face, toe to heel, and a little above center from bottom to top. And that's the ideal place to hit this shot. Well, at the first one I'm going to hit is going to be slightly toward the heel. And I'm going to swing at this ball, and then I'm going to have you look at the mark that I put on it and see where that mark was made. So now that shot was hit low on the heel, and you can see by the mark right here on the club face that it was hit very low and on the heel of the club. Now my job after I hit one of those is to try to hit one high on the toe, just so that I can find more toward the center of the club where I should be hitting it. Now how do I do that? Well, I don't have to make a golf swing. I don't have to do anything mechanical. The level of refinement it takes to do this is only a fine motor skill. If I try to do it with my gross motor functions, my big muscles, I'm going to overdo it every time. So now it's important that you understand that you take the idea of taking the hammer and pounding the nail, as I mentioned earlier, is the same one we're talking about here. This time I'm going to try to swing the head or the hammer head closer to me. I'm going to stand farther away from it. I'm going to move farther away. I'm going to try to hit the ball with the toe of the club just to be able to hit the shot that I want to hit. And by trying to hit the ball on the toe, that time I got it to the center. And this is what we see at the school all the time. You may not have it vertically correct yet, but moved away from the heel to the middle of the club face, this is progress. This is skill development. And now you have to hit the ball, if it takes 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, trying to hit it on the toe just to get it anchored to the middle, that's what it has to feel like today. The face tape is, in a sense, a biofeedback, if you will. You do something, you get immediate feedback, and it tells you that at this point in time, your sense of feel is off. Nothing wrong with that. It happens all the time in everything else we do. You have to make these fine adjustments all the time as a player. Eventually, you'll find out where the center of the face is, and you'll hit it there routinely until you lay off and don't practice for a while. When you come back after a layoff, you're going to have to refine the center of the face. Hitting it on the center of the face does not guarantee the ball will go straight. Hitting it on the center of the face simply means you hit it with the center of the face. It didn't tell you that you hit it with the face a bit too open, a bit too closed, or any of that. All it told you was that you hit it on the center of the face. You can hit the ball on the center of the face all day and hit big duck hooks or big banana balls, big slices. It's not because you mishit it. But you do have to hit it generally toward the center of the face when you make contact with the ball, and then you can begin to work on the next phase, which is knowing which path to move your club on as you come at the ball. Now there are 3 stages in golf development. Stage 1 is the slicer. Anybody out there? A slicer? If you're a slicer and a chronic slicer and haven't fixed that yet, you have to become a stage 2 player where you can learn to hook the ball. The stage 2 player is taught to swing a bit in to out, release the face, you start to hook the ball, everything seems fine until you become a deep stage 2 player where you duck hook the ball and push it. Duck hook and push, duck hook and push. And you thought that your troubles were over when you learned how to draw the ball. The final stage, stage 3, allows you to swing the club on the target line or a little bit out to in with a full release of the club face and hit shots that don't curve very much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit one from the toe of the club out here and show you what I have to do to make it go to the center of the face. So the first one is going to be hit on the toe, where I'm going to swing the club much closer to me than I would think would be reasonable so that I can hit it on the toe of the club. And I just got barely enough on there, if you can see this, that it's just out here on the toe. Well, I want to make sure that I have more meat against the back of the ball. So I'm going to try to hit it more here. When you find with the tape, when you hit practice shots and you chronically hit it toward the toe, simply try to hit it toward the heel, and I'll show you with an iron here in just a moment how we do that at the school. It's really a simple way, and it really, really works, and by using the face tape and 2 different balls, you can find out how to make your club head go exactly where you want it to go. The next one I'm going to hit is going to be one hit from the center of the face so that I can get all of the energy that I want through the middle of the ball. And make my adjustment. Now I brought it back about 3/4 of an inch to an inch inside where I hit the last one. And the neat part about this tape is that the last mark you hit is always a lighter blue color. As the marks are on there longer, they get darker, so that you can always tell which mark was the last one. Golf is a fine motor skill. Make no mistake. Now I want to make sure that we cover the skied ball too, because one of the things we see at the school is that people don't understand that the reason they hit the ball so high is because they've hit the ball very much up on the top part of the club. They think they've hit it in the center of the face, and once again the face tape comes to the rescue. And here's what it looks like, and I'll hit a shot here and try to hit it up high on the club face in that really high shot. Now this is a high tee shot, or a shot hit high on the club face. Even if I come another half a ball higher, it's going to exacerbate that problem even more, and I'm going to hit a ball that goes way up here. Let me do one more. Now you can see that the mark is high on the toe, and the club hit below the center of the ball. The top of the club face hit below the center of the ball, and the ball climbed over the edge of this club face in this fashion. It hit here and climbed over the top, and if you've got some worn marks on the top part of your driver, that's an indication that your club is too low at impact. You need to raise the club up higher and hit it. And you might even find that the reason you've gone to this high shot is when you do hit it on the club face, it doesn't go high enough in the air because you don't have enough loft on your driver. It's just one of those considerations I want you to think about. Make sure you have enough loft on your driver to get the launch angle you need when you hit it on the middle to upper part of the driver face. So now if you hit it this high on the face and you pop it up, how do you cure that? Well, it's your job on the very next tee shot that you hit to try to hit the top half of the ball and top it. And if you've been chronically hitting it high on the club face, then when you try to hit the top of the ball, you'll probably get it somewhere down in the middle of the face. So try to hit the next shot hitting on top half of the ball and actually try to hit a roller. And then you get to drive the ball. That was a bit lower down in here. And I want you to understand that you have to begin to do these things for yourself. You have to hit different parts of the club to find out what's available in your tools. These are your tools. Start to become a craftsman with the end of the tool. It will pay great dividends for you.